Today on Confessions at the Cabana, we welcome woman on top, Katie Shannon. She is a life coach with a very bold confession. She talks about what making money and the female orgasm have in common and her experiences with a somatic sex healer. She also shares how she's helping women to build businesses rooted in self-worth and confidence. It's honest and playful and eye-opening. And Katie's energy will leave you feeling inspired to see what's possible. My name is Zoe Scott, and this is my podcast, Confessions at the Cabana. I was born in England, and I chased my dreams across the ocean, landing in America, and then driving all the way to California to live my rock and roll life. I've journeyed from living in the wild to lighting up the stages all around Los Angeles, and I've got plenty of stories to share. But this podcast isn't about me. It's about creating space for others to share their stories, stories that inspire, stories that bring us together, and stories that heal. So come join us here in Malibu at the Cabana. Okay, I'm so excited we're here. I've been awake half the night because your blogs are so raw and authentic and talking about such deep subjects. I love your honesty. It really actually triggered me, I have to be honest.
I'm so curious to hear how it triggered you and what it triggered in you.
First of all, I should probably say you're an amazing life coach who coaches high net worth and executive teams. You work with entrepreneurs and artists in leadership development. Is that what you call your business?
Yes. And do a bit of life involved in that as well.
And you're obviously an artist, a great soul, and a great explorer of life and your own nature. So you sent me that last blog. Was it your last blog?
On wealth reckoning.
Yeah. And so, to start with, I didn't totally it was perfect, the timing, because there's a full moon. I'm always super sensitive. And in the morning I read it and I thought, oh, that's interesting. And then in the afternoon I got an Amazon bill. Somehow this Amazon bill and the sort of flurry around my Amazon bill, even though it wasn't that big, but it triggered a full-blown panic attack in me. And I thought, this is what she's talking about.
Wow.
This is what she's talking about. She's talking about triggers around money that take us back to this place where we're sure someone's going to come and take us away and say, hey, you're living under the bridge now, right?
Yes. We have your Target grocery cart waiting for you there with all of your shit in it. Yeah, there's that that feeling. I think we all have some story of that running,
I researched what was the top topics that women wanted to really know about. And the number one was money. So I guess we all have these money fears, issues. Do you want to go a bit into your childhood, your background that led you to a place of, healing of some of these things that you talk about and you coach in?
Yeah. Well, I first want to start with any woman specifically persons identifying as a woman listening today. We have been taught to just not even talk about money.
I know.
To be very secretive about it. Or just we just don't go there. We're not taught how to manage it, how to create it, how to care for it, how to understand our money stories, how to grow it. Everything is, I felt, at least the messages have been about just staying small with it, right?
And I think that was the inner conflict within me that I wanted to expand and feel nourished and alive like a beautiful plant. And that feeling again of having to stay small was really, it kept me awake.
Wow. And we'll get into my story, but I'm just curious, what about you opening the Amazon receipt or the Amazon bill made you feel small?
It was actually that it was someone else that pointed it out, and it wasn't my partner. It was, somebody that is not in that relationship. So that was also a trigger. And I felt like I was getting a slap on the wrist like I was a kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was bad that you made that purchase, or what was the specific?
So I think that the specific thing that made me feel bad, I think it was the sort of feeling of maybe not being able to give myself something fully that I really wanted. Maybe that was it. And being a little chastised for, wanting this and, taking it for myself and then being told, hey, no.
Yeah.
So I was like between that and the full moon. So I was thinking, God, this is the perfect moment to get into talking about money because there it is.
Yeah. So what I just heard is I can't have what I want, or I can't receive. I can't be given to.
Yeah, I
Because I'll
think
get
it was
chastised.
there was a big sadness that came up. And somehow also the money thing and the Amazon account, it kind of translated as love.
Yeah.
It was like, am I not worthy of the full package, the big love story? It was very interesting where my brain went.
Yeah. I'd love for you to dive even more into this. And I think there's even a part 2 to this, on your own. I did an exercise yesterday where I was actually connecting with younger versions of myself. I had a couple photos from age 5 to 10, and then a teenager, and I was claiming what I wanted to be earning and why I wanted to be earning that, and what are the messages that are, the part of me that, is shame. And she, I just, tears came to my eyes because I just felt this strong connection to this younger version of myself. And she was just all she wanted was for me to take care of her.
Right. So you're saying basically I was looking to be taken care of.
Yeah.
Through this, you're on a journey to learn to take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Or learn to take care of your younger. My parents, they had financial issues because my father was alcoholic, and so there was some scarcity. My mother was the breadwinner. I can remember going actually to a neighbor's to borrow some money to buy food. So I can definitely, as much as I've lived around incredible abundance in my life, I relate to you in that I can really drop into that, oh shit.
Yeah. We all have the stories, and all of those different parts of ourselves are us. And I think for me, I learned at a young age, really my teenage years, how to take care of myself financially.
Right.
How to hustle, how to be out there, how to provide for myself. And I just naturally thought that translated into being able to emotionally take really good care of myself. And those two things don't translate. It has to be more of a holistic relationship. I have to be pouring into all those parts of my life, and they need to be feeding me. And I'm, recovering codependent. I will naturally want to, prove my worth. It won't just be this natural, I'm deserving of this.
Yes, I can really relate to that. Yeah.
And again, I think that's part of the old story of being a woman and learning that the world actually wants to give to us. We were just sitting out in front of the beautiful ocean, and all I kept hearing from you was that, with regards to manifestation, you feel her power, the ocean, and how much she wants to give to us. And it's challenging, I think, to there's those stories that are still inside of us that are who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah.
Claiming that kind of power.
So if you have what tools have you learned? For example, you're like me last night, panic attack in the middle of the night about the Amazon bill and what's going to happen. Oh shit. And da. And then this catastrophizing starts, like you went to in your blog. There's a man that's going to come and what tools have you learned in those really dark moments to sort of get yourself regulated and balanced again?
Yeah. So, a lot of different tools. I'm finding the ones that have been the most impactful right now at 41 is sleep. And I say that because, when the trigger comes up, I think it's about money. When in actuality, it's probably about something else. Like I didn't get enough sleep the night before, and this is an easy thing to project it on.
Wow, that's fascinating because I didn't get much sleep the night before.
Same. Like I think it was something was going on I don't know if it was preparation for the full moon or what, but I just remember just feeling like really squirrely and not being able to like settle into sleep. I also just found out I have low progesterone levels like during the second half of my cycle after ovulation. And so like I need to start taking herbs for that. And I think that probably has to contribute to it.
Wow.
But I say that because, I think it's about the money. I know that I feel really uncomfortable when I'm not earning. Even if I'm able to take care of myself, like I went and got my hair done in Beverly Hills last week. And I was leaving there, like feeling sorry for myself that like I haven't earned in 2 months.
By the way, your hair looks beautiful, so it was worth it.
Steven,
when you came in, I thought, fabulous. Isn't it funny how when we have great hair, we feel like we can take on the world?
We can take on the world. And like at the same time, I couldn't fully enjoy it,
because you were more focused on.
I was more focused on the lack. I was more focused on the fact that, I haven't been earning like I've been earning the first half of the year. Like I need to be really careful. I did something wrong. I am wrong. Like that's the story.
I think that was the
play.
story that was coming up for me as well, which was building more and more anxiety. Should I have not done this grocery shopping? Should I have not done this? So I had a whole like story.
Yeah.
Why am I my parents were very critical. Am I being criticized? So all that kind of just like,
yeah. Well, then obviously you did something wrong. If that story is already existing and it's triggered by, someone saying something that immediately, pushes the button, then, but what's awesome about that is, what that trigger is. Like, okay, like let's unpack that trigger. Somebody came to you, made a comment, triggered the pattern, which if you could articulate in one sentence, it would be,
I am not good enough to have all my needs met, to receive everything that my heart desires. I'm not good enough to taken care of, loved, nourished. I don't know, a lot of things probably.
That's great. It's great.
Yeah.
Like, what it is.
Yeah.
And then what kind of kink are you getting from those belief systems? So like what kind of payoff are you getting from that?
It's interesting. I'm really trying to beat that system within me right now. So I do not go there very often, actually. And
what if you just let yourself?
What if I really go there? Blame, anger, disempowerment, rage.
It could be, I don't have to do anything about it. I can complain about it. I can, whatever the thing is that you're able.
I hear what you're saying. And that also came up for me during the night. And I was like, well, the answer is just full force forward. And then I was like, oh my God, so it was interesting.
So would you say that it's then I get to prove myself that I'm worthy?
No, I think it went more to, I get to just stand on my own 2 feet and hold space for how fabulous I am and how much I deserve to receive. And I'm just going to be totally open to receiving from the universe everything my heart really desires.
Do you truly believe that?
Oh, that's a big one, isn't it?
That's like life's work. I wouldn't say that I'm totally there yet.
No, when I got really honest about it, I was like, oof, I might have a little more work to do.
That's great.
What is it, that resistance that we have to just like really receiving everything that we totally, is it childhood imprints? Is it trauma? What is that?
I think for me, the more I do receive and I like step into the embodiment of, no, I know that this is going to happen and it's happening and I believe that I'm deserving, then I have to confront all the grief that's stored up from the years of me not believing that. But
Right.
I have to confront the lie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to go into my fear. I'm willing to go to the places that I don't want to go. And a lot of those specifically around money
Mm-hmm.
is the vagueness.
To not being totally intimate with money.
Not being as clear as I can be.
Okay. Right.
And if I want to attract more,
yes.
and I think the universe needs to know that I can manage it,
Yeah.
that I can handle it,
Yeah.
that I can be in that relationship with it. And the only way I know to really be in like right relationship with money is to be really clear with it, to have like really strong foundational organization around it, like all the structure stuff, which like, I identify as an artist as well. Like that stuff can feel overwhelming and boring.
Mm-hmm.
But when I like know where all my assets are, I know that they're well taken care of, I'm being really responsible with them. Like that actually gives me and my nervous system the relaxation that I want.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what do you do like in a situation like you're saying you haven't worked for 2 months right now and you're feeling anxious about that? And where do you go to keep the flow coming in? Where will you shift to? Where should we all shift to as women? What is the healthy set point to draw to us what we really need?
So I think for me now, the biggest lesson has been, I know that as an entrepreneur, like I'm going to have ebbs in my business. Like it's going to happen. And just life events are going to happen. This was the first time I've interacted with, fires potentially affecting my home and having to evacuate and just what was happening to Los Angeles at that time. My energy levels aren't the same as they were last year.
Yeah, no, I totally relate to that because I found the fires terrifying.
Now that I know that, how can I take care of future Katie? So I know that I need to have just like bigger reserves for when those ebbs come.
Yeah.
I'm okay regardless. And going back to your original question, like what were your money stories as a kid? My parents there was just like this fear of spending.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm going in the complete opposite direction. I want to have fun. I want adventure. I want to be wild. Those people who are boring, they're the ones that are working in the spreadsheets. And that became very unsustainable.
I mean, my biggest frustration right now around money, I just like put it out there. I've been around a lot of big money. I have a capacity to support people with big money. I'm around a lot of big money, but I haven't achieved my own wealth. So somehow I've got to figure out how to not just have it all around me, but for it to be mine. And so I think that is to do with probably owning my own power. And I think probably a lot of women do that because women are very good at mothering, aren't they?
Yes.
And nurturing, but sometimes they don't actually step up and say, you know what? I'm worth this. Do you see that in women?
Absolutely. Like we were texting back and forth, and I've had clients who married into a lot of wealth. They have, 8 figures of assets, and they'll come to me saying like, I think I just need to get a job. And I just like, if I could just make $100,000. And I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, no, we're going way higher than that. You're worth way more than that. But the trying to go out there and, claim what they're worthy of, even though they're giving so much to so many people of their own resources.
Right.
It's fascinating to me to see both of those because there is something about when you're putting yourself out there in your own business and, you think you're selling yourself. Where
is that foreign to women? Do you think a little bit? Because there's the nurturer, the mother.
I think with just what happened this year, in Los Angeles specifically with the change of power in January and the fires, like my helper came on so hard. Like, all right, I need to be volunteering. What resources do I have? How can I show up? But it was so like natural for me to go into that compulsive place. And and then other people in my life too, who, struggle with addiction. Like it's automatic because when I was a little girl, growing up in a household that had the effects of their parents both having alcoholism. So there's a lot of Al-Anon. And if anyone was curious what that is. It's, growing up in an alcoholic home, dysfunctional home emotionally. And so I became an adult so early. My identity was formed around not only being a helper, but by being the person that people come to for advice. My parents came to me for advice starting like age 7.
Wow.
At age 10, my school teachers had me trained to be a peer mediator to like help other kids resolve conflict. Like I was just born into that in a lot of ways. And so like I have to really be careful that I'm taking care of myself first because that burnout will happen if I'm not careful. And I think I've really, this year especially, like I've been working on it for the last 6 years, but this year has really been like, oh my, like I can feel I'm getting so much energy back.
I can relate to the people pleasing.
Yeah.
And the wanting to just like give it all.
Yeah.
And there's something really fun about giving. I've also been working on that one for quite a long time. My therapist said to me this year, she said, I wish you gave everything you give to everyone else to yourself. And I was like, yeah, she's right. Why don't I give myself a little more of that, you know? So working on that as well. Going back to it's always a little edgy to kind of push out and be out there. What have you found has helped you with that?
So I translate that to visibility. Is that
being seen?
Yeah, being seen, being visible. Using my writing has been an amazing platform for me to be more visible. I think my website, like I had an amazing creative director and we really worked to have this be a beautiful artistic expression.
It's lovely.
Thank
and I
you.
love that photograph of you.
It's all in my home too. I wanted it to really represent me and where I am right now.
It's interesting. So I've been a performer since I was in my teens, but I still really struggle with it. And what I've realized my struggle is I'm fine as long as I can wear a mask. I'm the rock singer. I'm the bossa nova singer. But if I have to be like deeply honest and vulnerable, that's really difficult for me. So that's why sitting here is a real sort of development for me because I want to have very honest conversations. I want to have conversations that are inspiring, and that requires me to be really honest. And that's not the easiest for a British performer.
I mean, yeah, that's a double whammy,
yeah,
Zoe.
British. Keep it all under the rug, right? Sweep it under the rug.
Yes. I have a good friend who's English, and when she was telling me a story and I could feel her getting emotional and struggling, I could feel the internal struggle of her even feeling the emotions.
It's like, I think I'm scared of being attacked or criticized because when I was a little girl, whenever I had a big moment, like I remember I won a contest as a beauty queen, which was really big for me, and I was dealing with a lot of tough stuff in my household, the alcoholism, the fights, the whole thing, my parents, and it was such a big deal for me at 16 to win this, that I was going to go through the streets of London on a horse and fairy tale. You want the fairy tale. And I remember my mother really sort of had to attack me for that. And she always seemed to attack me when I was most wanting my moment. So she and my mother was amazing.
Wait, go back to that.
She was an artist too.
She was most attacked me when, say that one more part again.
When I was having my moment. So being seen.
Yeah. So well, if you're being seen and in your moment, like that to me translates to what you were saying before around, I want to feel good about being in the abundance and the flow and all of these things.
Yeah.
Like, how could you allow yourself to really do that if you had these critical moments of your mother criticizing you in those peak moments?
Yes. She could really stick it to me.
Yeah. So like that's wrong, like that's the story that's wrong. So it just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Why you wouldn't feel completely comfortable.
Yes. Yeah. So how can we get more comfortable?
Is your mother still alive?
She actually has last stage Alzheimer's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite exercises is writing a letter and like are you allowed to curse on here?
Sure.
So then I would let her fucking have it. like write this letter
Yeah.
and just let her have it. Let out all of your anger, all your rage, all the reasons why you're pissed, why you didn't get your needs met, all of it. And then do not read it to her, but read it to someone else.
Okay.
Get it out.
Okay.
Because it's in there. We need to get it out.
Right. Like the time I got a part in Columbia Pictures and you said, when are you going to get realistic and get a job?
Exactly.
All that. Just
all of that.
put it all out.
Yeah. And
I would feel so bad doing that. I just have to say it would,
and that's,
you know.
That's the direction.
That's the direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happens next after you've got it all out?
And you share it with someone, which I find to be a really powerful practice. You know, it sounds like you have some really beautiful practices here at the ocean. You can burn the letter, make it ceremonial. And then what do you want to call in on the other side of that? You know, radical self-acceptance. I want to allow myself to feel loved. Like, I know that my mom
radical self-acceptance sounds fabulous.
Yeah. And it doesn't happen overnight. Like, getting to the place I have found, because I've had a complicated relationship with my mother, that like my mother, I know, has wanted to love me so much in the ways that I would desire. And I know that my existence is very triggering to her because I am, or has been in the past growing up, because I'm a huge risk taker and she's extremely risk averse. And so of course there was going to be friction and tension, and we worked really hard to get to a place, and we've had times where we didn't even talk to each other for a year and a half. Twice that's happened. And, you know, we've both had to do our own individual work to get to the place. I've had to get to the place where I'm like, I know she absolutely did the best she could with what she had. And that might not have been enough for me and what I needed. And there are these imprints, but it's my responsibility to heal from those.
Thank you for phrasing it in that way, risk adverse, because I relate to that. I think that was basically it with my mother. She was just quite a traditional British woman. And here was her young daughter going off, living in Rome, wanting to sing rock in Los Angeles and live in a cave. I think that's probably what it was. She was risk adverse. And I have traditionally been a great risk taker.
So I know you read some of my writing, and I talk about, you know, what I'm learning about orgasms right now.
Yes, let's talk about the sex
we'll talk
stuff.
About orgasms and money.
Yeah, because isn't it the same chakra, right?
I don't know. But what I do know.
I've been told that money and sex come from the same chakra, the second chakra.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But over to you on sex.
Well, okay. So I believe that we as a society, specifically Western society, specifically American society, have organized our entire existence around a transactional, like, male orgasm. And what I mean by that is when we have sex with males.
Makes quite a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. When I've had sex males, I've orientated my pleasure, how I use my body, how I use my attraction to placate the male orgasm, which is to please, which they get, you know, turned on really quickly. They last for probably 5 to 7 minutes, and then like they're done, and then they'll rest, and then like we do it again. And we've organized business that way. To be transactional scale, hit the target, and then, you know, come back down. Let's do it again. Sell the business, do it again. It's just this, and it's not. I don't find it to be sustainable, like energy wise, the burnout, like just all the things. Like it's detrimental. But when we think about like a female orgasm, which I just learned how to like properly use my body.
How did you learn that? Because we all want to know. Come on, tell us what you did.
So I hired this amazing somatic healer. His name is Rahi. He's based out of Santa Monica. He came highly recommended by my acupuncturist, who works also in sexual
let's print
wellness.
His number on my social media. Everyone's going to be down there from Malibu. No, sorry, go ahead.
And I came to him because I still felt really unsafe in my own nervous system.
Okay, so you basically felt like you needed to do some healing.
I need to do some deep healing on like a cellular level. I've done a bunch of 12-step recovery work in relationships, money recovery, Al-Anon, which I've told you about. I've worked with therapists. I've done ayahuasca. I've done psilocybin and MDMA. Like I've done a lot of the things. And there was just this piece of, like, when I would still walk out the door, I could just feel this hypervigilance turn on of who's around me, who do I need to be aware of. I'm going to get ahead of any kind of danger that's coming my way, and almost less afraid of what could possibly hurt me. How am I going to react because of my own implicit patterns of codependency and compliance?
Wow.
Yeah. So the work that we did together was me fine-tuning and learning how to be safe in my body no matter what.
That's what you took to him.
Yes.
Rahi.
Yes. And so we would do these sessions 3 to 5 hours. And we started off really slowly with me just being on a treatment table and saying, what I needed to feel more comfortable, whether that was, a blanket over my torso or something wrapped around my feet or my temples rubbed, like very simple, easy things, a bolster under my legs. And we would do that for like an hour. And he would say, since you're success-oriented, transactional, like a male orgasm.
I love it. He was getting your psychology.
Yeah, he totally was and he would say, success here looks like you giving me 100 adjustments. And you not saying please, you not even saying thank you, you just saying what you want.
Okay, we like that.
We love this.
Automatically, you've gone from the focus on the male orgasm, ejaculation, to what I really need as a woman.
Yes.
Is that what he was?
Yes. And it was hard. So hard. So challenging. I'd get exhausted. I'd start disassociating. I could tell.
It was hard to say what you wanted.
Like just to keep going, like more and more. I kept feeling in my body like, okay, it's enough. It's enough. Like we're done. Like we're good. Like let's go back to self-sufficiency.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the surrender to the intimacy of the situation,
the intimacy of someone giving to me without me having to reciprocate.
Yeah, because sometimes if you're a giver, that's also quite a defense mechanism, isn't it?
Absolutely.
To kind of push away. I give to you. Sometimes when I've been really interested in men, my way of pushing them away is by like, I'm the one who gives.
Ooh. Yeah. And I don't think men that really want to serve the feminine want to deal with that all the time. It's the ones that are like, cool, I don't have to do anything. And you're just going to show up and keep giving until you're resentful. And then, that's the cycle. So, and I would find that in relationships with men and women. And, there's some narcissism in that for sure on my side. So I want to claim that and own that. Like I can feel superior. I can feel like I'm the hero, like all of those stories. So that's real. And we would work over 6-month period of time and move into massage. He would show me the different erogenous zones all over the body. They're like non-sexual erogenous zones. I didn't even know what those were. I didn't know what those were specifically on my body. He would learn.
So he educated you also about the body.
He was educating me the entire time about the body.
Because there are different orgasms that a woman can have, right? And I'm not even sure if I know how.
Yeah. And it was less about the orgasm and more about just pleasure. And it was really more about me receiving myself. While Rahi was the facilitator, it almost felt like he was a piece of art on the wall.
Like
the whole time I felt like I was just with myself. In like a really intimate, beautiful way. Well,
was that a first time you had felt like that in your life?
Oh yeah, yeah. And I just the things that were the biggest imprints were, I would have him put his arms under my back and just stay there until I felt satiated. And just the feeling of that foundational support physically, like under my back, I was like, because I could just sink down in it. I could just feel so supported. And it was like a new feeling to me that felt really, really good.
going back to taking care of yourself, it sounds quite revolutionary.
Yes.
Quite a.
Yes, because it's setting new standards of receiving. And I noticed I would always go to the proper hotel in Santa Monica afterwards. I would have dinner. And I just
Take yourself out on a date.
take out myself on a date. And I would just feel
so
radiant.
amazing. Right.
I felt I was a queen. I felt radiant. I just felt my power was so turned on in those moments. And it wasn't power over. It was just me.
Thank you for being so honest, because I think it's such a big gift to women that you're being so honest about this experience. Like, you really write about, going into one of those sessions and the layers of pleasure that you received, and, the all these sensations of your body. And it's funny that you went and had this experience, because I have been thinking for some time, there's got to be some way to learn more deeply about what real nourishment, means.
Yeah. And there's been so much practice even since that work. Like, we would only do 8 sessions because
you're only. I read a little about. Is it just 8 sessions? So it
8
stays.
sessions. So there's no like emotional attachment that happens. And I remember at 8, I was like, I know I'm done. Like, I feel in my body, I'm good, I'm satiated, but like I'm scared to go out into the world and
oh my God,
do this.
Like this. We're having the fun doing it in the cabana, but then we got to put it out. The same with the sex.
Yes. Yeah. We did eventually go into pleasure where, he's fully clothed and he's teaching me the different erogenous zones. Like,
how many different erogenous zones do women have?
Well, I don't know about specifically around the vagina, but I know we have like 11 erogenous zones around our body. And then we actually have a K spot, I think it's a P spot. Like, there's different spots actually even within
so we have
the vaginal canal.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really bad at remembering.
Man, you've got to be.
When you're pleasuring, I'm like, I'm not
Normal
like looking
men
at a
don't
graph.
know that we have 11 spots. I mean, you need maybe they all need to go as well, because
which I love educating men on this. Like,
well, you're educating a lot of women right now, so please educate us, because I really want.
So, but I will say this, that because I was originally, after working with him, I was like, I want to get a play partner and just practice. And then I was like, I don't want to do this with a stranger. And what I found, though, my orgasms have shifted dramatically. I think they were, so going
maybe
back,
you were your play partner.
I was my play partner. And I think that was the thing that actually I was desiring first. And I've had some amazing male lovers in my past. I've had amazing female lovers. But there was something about me learning my body first and being able to articulate that. And
very
be visible
empowering
in that. And so I would say my orgasms beforehand were, again, oriented towards pleasuring a male orgasm. And so I would judge myself if I wasn't getting turned on right away. I was judging myself if it just took longer than it should, where men take like 5 to 7 minutes.
How long was your longest session with Rahi, and how many orgasms did you have during it? Can I ask that?
I only had 1 orgasm during our sessions, because I was getting so into the performance of it, trying to get there. And so it was like, it was fucking with my head. And so, like, again, he said, take that off the table. I mean, it was play and receiving for like an hour and a half, 2 hours for sure. But it wasn't about that. It was about the being able to hold like a greater capacity, which I think translates to money. I think it translates to all different parts of our lives. That's what I've experienced. So going back to the earning and money, where before I think I thought about, again, everything transactional. Like, I need to hit these targets, and then I'd be exhausted, and then like, all right, I'm going out to do it again. Now I'm really thinking about even my business through more of the female orgasmic lens. Like, all right,
like an exploring and a journey and a
it's gonna be meditative. There's gonna be contractions. There's gonna be expansions. Usually before a big contraction, there's gonna be even a bigger expansion. And if you look at the S&P 500, like a graph of it over, let's say, a 50, 60 year period, it's all expansions and contractions. It's all up and down, but the overall trajectory is up.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at other pieces of, financial literature or just, our existence and business and, the financial markets, it's a lot more it replicates more of a female orgasm than a male one.
Wow.
Just saying.
Can I just ask one other thing about,
Yeah.
you went through this big crash at a certain point when you were
There were a
living.
couple. Which one?
When you were living in a mansion, you were managing,
Yeah.
like incredible, what should I say, array of people for someone who was very wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was a very sad time for you said in the end.
Yeah.
Is that what led you to help other high net worth people and people who were real leaders? Did you go to that space yourself and then find if it's just one dimensional, which is just the money, just the wealth, is going to be quite empty? Is that where your journey began?
Yeah, it absolutely was. And I think a couple of context points. One, I had done no personal development work at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So to go from working full time in luxury hotels at like the top of my game, at like the best of the best, I was used to working at such a high level 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
And so to move into an environment where all my needs were provided for me, all like there's nothing to want, need, etc. And there was
House, car, staff,
everything. Yes. There was a lot of downtime.
Okay.
And as someone who was very driven, ambitious, again, like what's the target? What's the KPI? What's the measure of success? I'm going to go and achieve it. And then give me the next one. Again,
What
like
was
the male orgasm, right?
What was difficult about sitting with yourself, the downtime?
I had to all of a sudden pay attention to the things that I've been avoiding for the last 30 years, like all, traumatic events. And I didn't want to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
I look back, I could have started a business
Yeah.
while I was there. There were so many different things, but I was just feeling helpless.
Yes.
And so I think coming out of that, I also chose to work for people that were very replicable of, my parents and the struggles that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think there were opportunities to work through them.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really was clear, like, I just don't want to work for anyone anymore. I want to work for myself. And I don't have clarity on what that is, but I think the universe tells us.
Mm-hmm.
And once I did start doing my own personal work, because I was like, this is not working.
Mm-hmm.
I started talking about it, just like in my blog, just having conversations. And I happened to just, be in a lot of circles with other entrepreneurs. And so they were like, everything you're describing, I identify with. You're putting language to things that I didn't even know existed in me. Like, do you think you could help me? So that's really how it started.
Wow, that's brilliant. It's wonderful
Yeah.
to hear. It was just like your natural
Yeah.
flow. That's gorgeous.
And I never chose, high net worth individuals.
Yeah.
It was always, I want to work with change makers who are humble hustlers, who have the resources to really tip culture socially into a new orbit that's bountiful for all of us.
Right. So you're a little like a midwife or a gardener. You help people grow down into their vision and bring in additional skills and tools that maybe they hadn't thought about that might help them kind of nurture the garden, weed out bits, plant. Is that kind of?
I would say yes. I think you described it really well. I help people remind them of who they are.
You must be just like such a lovely gift.
It's
in
fun.
people's.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
To just remind people of who they are.
Yeah.
Isn't that what everybody wants? You're like the little fairy godmother that comes in or not, fairy
They
godmother.
they are for themselves. Like, again, like my job is really just to be like a conduit and a mirror. Like I don't want anyone projecting any kind of,
Okay.
No
fairy godmother.
No. I mean, again, we've talked about here, like I've got my own stuff too. Like I am very human at the end of the day. These are the things that I've had to work through and continuously work through.
Yeah.
And I love working with teams too. Like I love complicated relational dynamics.
Right. So you can help finesse and bring the honesty to the surface so you can see how a team can really work together to the best and highest good. Is that?
Absolutely. I love like high performers
Right.
who need to have a really safe space to be able to hold healthy conflict. A lot of people are avoiding, they're not having the conversations, they're building resentment, where that takes up so much time and energy.
Right.
Where I want you all to be like, let's get it out on the table, and also be able to develop the language to be able to do it with tact. And I've brought all the orgasm stuff into the boardroom as well.
You have.
Oh, yeah.
So you bring in nourishment into the boardroom as well as like, okay.
Because otherwise it's not fun.
And I also like the idea that you said earlier, which is, like you said, like the female orgasm business should be like this. It should be pushing forward, but they're meditating, sitting, not just like boom.
Yeah. Like we need time and space to be like, all right, we got to go. We got to hit this target. Like we need that energy, right? But if we as women have been trained to just be in that energy, and it's so unnatural for us, but there's this other way that is very natural to us that conserves our energy, builds our energy, like allows us to go into consistent, smaller contractions, bigger expansions.
As a woman, it sounds so relaxing hearing that because my whole life has been hitting my mark, hitting the audition, hitting the performance, and actually this morning, when I was going to come down here, I was like, because I was tired, I didn't sleep so well last night. And so I couldn't hit my idea of perfection. And then I suddenly thought, oh, who am I kidding? Let's just go and have a great conversation. Yes. Let's just go and let's let it rock and roll. Let's let it free flow and see maybe something even better will come out of the conversation.
Yeah. It's way more fun that way. And it's a discipline. And I do it very imperfectly. I was meeting with 2 women yesterday and going over my current financial picture and like the pressures I was feeling. And I'm like, all right, we're going to go with strategy. We're going to go in with marketing, like all these things. And that
sounds like a lot of pressure.
It's the complete, I got the complete opposite. And I was annoyed.
Right.
They were like, you just need to surrender more. You just need to, have you taken, can you take tomorrow off? Like, and go to the ocean and hang out.
You're at the ocean.
I know. And I was like, I'm so pissed off right now because that part of me wanted the action. What can I do to the thing? How can I be in control of this and not be able to just relax into my circumstances right now, which actually my circumstances are like pretty good.
Pretty good.
They're
and
pretty
look,
amazing.
I do believe when you follow your bliss, the universe always provides. You've got ocean. You're surrounded by...
I live in Los Angeles. I live in Point Doom right now. We're watching the surfers this morning. I'm sitting in your cabana. Like all of these things. But I think it's important to just be really honest that it's not this linear line or this place that like, oh, I feel this thing now all the time. Like I still have a period cycle. I'm going to feel different 4 different ways in this 4-week cycle. So to try to even say like, this is what I've done and this is what success looks like. And this is how I got there doesn't even feel realistic. But, to give you an example of, I would say a success that I'm really proud of. I have a team that I just finished up coaching 6 founders. That's a big team. No CEO. All of them have the same voting rights, and every major decision we made together. They made together, and I helped facilitate that. And most, that would be a nightmare for a lot of people. And was it annoying sometimes and stressful, but they respected each other a lot and were able to have really challenging conversations and move together as a team. We doubled their revenue.
Wow.
Their bottom line revenue, their net revenue in like a year's time. And they just had an incredible article in Rolling Stone as the creative partner of Bad Bunny's. He's been doing a residency in Puerto Rico where he's from, a month long.
Wow.
The artistry, the creativity, Rolling Stone did a beautiful piece on it. And so to see that, to see the intricacies and what they were able to accomplish
when they were
from
really thriving as a team.
It's just like being on a sports team, you know, or in a band. My goal actually is to work with my first band. Like I want to do the same thing I do in leadership development.
Wow.
on
I
the
know a
band
lot of
side.
bands. Let me see if I can find one for
There's
you.
got to be one that like wants to, you know, work better as a team
Yeah.
as well as, you know, be more empowered as business leaders. I think we don't look at creatives, especially in bands, as entrepreneurs, but you are. Look at Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
I'm an artist, but I am not airy-fairy about it. This is how I make my money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where do you think we are in the balance of the masculine and the feminine? How are we doing in ourselves?
Yeah.
Because it begins with ourselves. I have a masculine and feminine in me. And how are we doing out there in relationships?
Oof. That's a big question. And I'm going to answer it for myself first. I've been seeing an acceleration of my own bullshit disintegrating, specifically around allowing my feminine to come more online and that soft power, which is really, it serves me well. At the same time, I feel like I'm deeply being confronted with all the misogyny that's still very much in me. I told you I am taking this 30-day man diet where I'm
Yeah,
just
what's the
not
man diet?
really interacting with men. Like,
Wow, well, it's great. Come here every day.
I
Tell us
will
everything you
definitely
know.
come.
The women of the world are waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what made you feel like you needed a man diet for 30
There,
days?
I have a mentor, and we were just reflecting on sort of the type of men that I've been attracting and that I wasn't really feeling in alignment with. And she said, I think we need to like reset your system, like the standard. And so you're just going to not interact with men. But what I found is, one, I've got a lot more energy back. And two, I was really struggling with how I was going to do that in business.
I mean, I think it's quite fascinating that the first thing that you were met by was your own misogyny, not misogyny outside yourself. And I guess through the whole 30-day detox. So how many days have you done so far? This man.
It's been over
diet.
a week. It's been over a week.
No, it's going to be like coming off coffee or any drug.
Oh, it feels like it felt like coming off of heroin the first couple of days. Yeah. But then I noticed.
Maybe I should do a man diet as
I mean, I will say this, like I'm not the interactions with men, like the short, just intriguing. Like since I'm not able to do that, like I would get a hit off of that like I would eating a Sour Patch Kid.
Wow.
And so I had a lot of withdrawal symptoms the first couple of days, settled back into myself. I went to a party on Saturday and I was like, I'm dressing for myself. And I felt so good. And I felt there was this part of me that's so innately me that I don't show as often, which is, it's cheeky, but in a non-sexual way. Like my natural awkward, weird humor was coming out.
Right.
I wasn't.
Nothing to prove.
Nothing to prove. I just.
More authenticity. Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, I told my mentor that, and she's like, well, that's where you're going to be attracting from.
Do you think also, though, this journey will take you maybe to a deeper respect for men? And you're,
Absolutely.
Because you'll have a better relationship with the masculine in yourself?
Absolutely. I think our society has really done a disservice to men.
I mean, in terms of this idea of soft power and women becoming successful, yet being able to experience their sacred feminine. You know, I have witnessed women who are really successful in business, but they also come across as pretty tough. And I think, I don't know if I'd want to give up.
Which we've had to. You know, I coached a woman who was in her 60s. And she was one of the first women to bring like cell phones online, and like that she was in the .com era, and she was like she worked for MCI and a lot of firsts, and she wanted to work with me because she was so stuck in this pattern of efforting up, and she's like, I don't want to be in that anymore. And I just had so much compassion and love for her, because that was the only way.
So you think there's a way to retain your connection to your femininity, your sensitivity, your intuition, but also be powerful to bring it all together in business.
Yes.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Bring it all together. So a woman in being successful doesn't have to give up that side of her.
No, be
Because
all
that
of
would be
it.
my dream.
I love being feral. I love my anger. I love my softness. I love all of it.
Mm.
So I know when the next relationship makes itself known that I'm in, like I know I'll be a little feral cat.
All right.
And the like hyperventilating and
Yeah.
just the, in the thing that I want, because, there's one thing to fantasize about it. And there's another thing to like be in it, to hold that charge.
Thank you so much, Katie. You are a wizardess. You're a magician. You're a high priestess. You're in there doing the alchemy. This conversation has been so inspiring.
Thank you.
Thank you. Where can people find you if they want to work with you or they want to read your blogs?
Thank you, first of all, for this opportunity. I had a lot of fun.
This was fun.
This is great.
Yeah.
And if any listeners would love to find me, my website is www.katieshannon.co, not .com, .co. I feature a number of my blogs on there, and there is a link to my Substack as well that has my full list of blogs that you can go deep into a rabbit hole. I'm on Instagram as well. I am Katie Shannon. And yeah, I hope that, you found something that was valuable to you in this conversation.
Absolutely. So much. I learned so much.